Is this a flat tax plan?
It's a proportional tax. That's what tithing is. You make $10 billion, you pay $1 billion. You make $10, you pay $1. Of course, I would get rid of all the deductions and all of the loopholes. But here's the key. People, they look at the guy who put in $1 billion. They say, he's still got $9 billion left.
Exactly.
That's not fair.
Right.
We need to take more of his money. That's called socialism. And what made America to a great nation was we had a very different attitude. We would say, he just put in $1 billion. Let's create an environment that's even better for him so that next year he can make $20 billion and put in $2 billion. That's how we went from nowhere to the pinnacle of the world in record time. And it's growth. It's not taking what's there and dividing it up and making it smaller.
Have you decided on 10% as a kind of tithe flat tax rate?
Well, in terms of remaining revenue neutral, it would have to be somewhere between 10 and 15%. Early on, probably higher. Over the course of time, lower.
A tithe is voluntary. Taxes are not.
Well, it's a model that I'm looking at, the proportionality model. What could be fairer than that? You know, God didn't say if your crops fail, you don't owe me anything, and if you have a bumper crop, you owe me triple tithes, which is the way that we think.
Christianity is at the absolute dead center of your campaign. It's the center of your life, isn't it?
Well, let me put it this way. My beliefs certainly inform the way that I do things. You know, when I look at the Bible and you know, from the beginning to the end, you know, there is a lot in there about our responsibility to others, our responsibility to the poor. So even though the left would look at what I'm saying and they say, oh, he hates poor people, he's only for rich people, you know, when you actually stop and listen to what I'm saying, you will recognize that when we go in and we put reading rooms into areas, particularly Title I schools where kids come from homes with no books, they go to a school with no library, a poorly funded library, and these reading rooms change the trajectory of their lives. That's what's good. It's not patting people on the head and handing them stuff. We've been doing that since the 60s. And where has it gotten us? Nowhere. We've spent over $19 trillion eradicating poverty. Has it worked? You know, we have 10 times more people on food stamps, more poverty, incarceration, crime, broken families, out of wedlock births. Everything that was supposed to get better is not only worse, it's much worse. So if you're intelligent, you say, this is not working. Let's look at some things that do work. And what we do know that works is when people take an interest in other people and they invest in them and personal relationships develop. That's what brings people out of poverty.